Every weekend, people walk into dealerships and spend $30,000 or $35,000 on a crossover or an SUV they don't actually need, and I'm going to show you 4 sedans, all under $20,000 used, that are faster, cheaper to own, and built to outlast those SUVs by 100,000 miles. I've spent 20 years turning wrenches, and I can tell you what the data and the dealer invoice both show. The SUV craze has been one of the most expensive financial mistakes everyday car buyers are making right now. And stay with me for number 1. That car got me into an actual back and forth with a dealership manager who told me it couldn't compete with a BMW. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Today I'm counting down 4 used sedans that outclass most SUVs, on performance, on total cost of ownership, and on sheer reliability. We're talking real-world shop data, actual repair numbers, and the specific model years worth hunting for right now. I'm saving the most surprising one for last. That third car on today's list? I need you to pay attention to something specific: the engine code on the window sticker. It determines whether you're buying a bulletproof car or a headache. I'll explain exactly what to look for. Keep watching. Number 4. Mazda 6, 2018 to 2021. I had a 2019 Mazda 6 Signature Turbo roll into the shop about a year ago. The customer thought something was wrong because the car felt too nice for what she paid for it. 64,000 miles, original everything. She bought it for $16,200. The only thing that car needed was a fresh set of tires. That was it. Here's why this car lasts. The 2.5-liter Skyactiv engine is a naturally aspirated design that Mazda has been refining since 2012. Timing chain, not a belt, so you never pay the $800 plus belt replacement. No turbo to fail. Port injection so the intake valves stay clean. This engine wants to run to 250,000 or 300,000 miles, and it has the track record to prove it. Now, the 2018 to 2021 Mazda 6 also comes with the 2.5 turbo, 250 horsepower on premium, 227 on regular. But here's where it gets interesting: 310 pound-feet of torque from just 2,000 revolutions per minute. That's diesel-level shove off the line. The SUV next to you at the light doesn't know what hit it. RepairPal puts the Mazda 6 annual maintenance cost at $462. The average midsize SUV runs $550 to $700 per year. Insurance on a used Mazda 6 averages around $905 to $1,800 per year depending on your state and record, measurably less than a comparable SUV. Common issues: wheel bearings at $300 to $500 a corner, brake rotors at $300 per axle, and some infotainment screen glitches on older units that a $40 SD card replacement usually fixes. Before you hand over any money on a Mazda 6, do this. Pull up the NHTSA database and confirm the recall on the fuel pump is marked completed. Then pop the hood and look at the oil cap. If the underside has milky gray residue, walk away. That's a coolant leak. Clean cap? You're probably good. Also pull out the infotainment SD card and make sure it's the factory card, not a third-party replacement that will cause freezing issues. Buy it if you want near-luxury materials at a fraction of the price. You're keeping it past 150,000 miles. You want a car that handles with confidence and doesn't cost a fortune to maintain. Skip it if you regularly haul large cargo or need genuine all-wheel drive for serious winter. Mazda 6 is front-wheel drive only, and trunk space at 14.7 cubic feet is the smallest of this group. The Mazda 6 is a genuine luxury car that nobody wants because the badge doesn't say BMW. That's your gain. Buy the signature trim, change the oil every 5,000 miles on the turbo model, and drive it until your kids argue about who gets it. Now the Mazda 6 is impressive. But the next car on this list has something the Mazda never had: a proven track record with over 500,000 miles on a single powertrain. This is where we start talking about real money. Number 3. Toyota Camry V6, 2019 to 2020. A 2018 Toyota Camry hybrid that was used as a taxi in Dubai, running 24 hours a day in shifts, reached 530,000 miles on the original engine and transmission. Not rebuilt. Original. The only things replaced along the way were tires, brake pads, and rear suspension bushings. That's not a YouTube story. That's a documented fleet record. I've worked on well over 100 Camrys in my career. You know what I almost never replace on these cars? The engine. You know what I replace sometimes? Oxygen sensors around $300, maybe a wheel bearing. You know what I replace constantly on the SUVs those same customers traded in? Transfer cases, differentials, CVT transmissions. Items that cost $2,000 to $5,500. Now here's the thing people get wrong about the Camry. They think it's a boring economy car for someone's grandmother. That assumption is expensive. The 2019 and 2020 Camry XSE V6 has a 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6 making 301 horsepower, and it does 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds. Car and Driver tested it. That's faster than a Honda CR-V, a Toyota RAV4, a Ford Escape, and most compact crossovers costing $30,000 new. Target 2019 or 2020. The 2018 was the first year of this generation and had 8 recalls including a fuel pump campaign. It's fine now if the recalls are cleared, but the 2019 got all the fixes from the factory. J.D. Power gave the 2019 Camry an 83 out of 100 reliability score. Only 5 recalls on the 2020. The sweetest spot for value right now is a 2019 LE or SE 4-cylinder in the $15,000 to $18,000 range, or a V6 at slightly higher mileage. CarEdge calculates $4,580 in total maintenance over 10 years on the Camry. That's $458 per year. For comparison, a midsize SUV averages $700 to $900 per year in maintenance. If this kind of shop floor data is saving you money, hit subscribe. I've got more breakdowns coming that the dealer service department definitely doesn't want you to see. Buy it if you want the longest documented track record of any sedan. You're commuting 20,000 plus miles a year and need something that will not strand you. You want that V6 performance for sedan money. Skip it if you need AWD for real winter driving. The Camry AWD only came on the 4-cylinder model. If you want excitement from behind the wheel on a back road, this car won't deliver that. The Camry will outlive your mortgage, your student loans, and probably your patience with traffic. Buy a V6 if it's in budget, maintain the oil on schedule, and stop worrying about repairs for the next 150,000 miles. That's not optimism, that's what the fleet data shows. The Camry is the reliability standard. But the next car on this list does everything the Camry does, and adds a performance engine that was derived from a race-prepped platform. Pay attention to one specific engine code when you go shopping. Number 2. Honda Accord 2.0T, 2018 to 2020. I mentioned earlier there's something specific to look for on the window sticker when you're shopping for an Accord. Here it is. You want the K20C4 engine. That's the 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 252 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. Because Honda built this engine off the same platform as the Civic Type R powerplant. It does 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds. In an Accord. For $16,000 to $20,000 used. I had a customer argue with me, a guy who had just spent $38,000 on a loaded Honda Pilot, that his SUV was faster than my 2019 Accord 2.0T Sport recommendation. We looked it up together. Accord 2.0T, 5.4 seconds. Honda Pilot, 7.1 seconds. He went quiet. He then asked if he'd made a mistake. I told him the honest truth. For daily driving, yes, probably. Here's what makes the 2.0T engine special beyond the numbers. It makes its peak torque at 1,500 revolutions per minute. Most turbocharged engines don't hit max torque until 2,500 or 3,000 revolutions per minute. What that means in practice is that the power is there the instant you need it. Merging on the highway, passing a slow truck, getting out of an intersection. It drives nothing like the economy car people assume this is. Now I'm going to be straight with you because that's the whole point of this channel. The 1.5-liter Accord has a known oil dilution issue. Unburned fuel seeps past the piston rings into the oil, especially in cold climates with a lot of short trips. There's a class action lawsuit over it. Honda issued software updates that helped but didn't fully solve it. Honda brand ranks number 1 in reliability out of 32 car brands on RepairPal, with an average annual repair cost of $428. The Accord specifically costs about $5,807 in total maintenance over 10 years. That's $100 a month, or roughly what some people spend on car washes. The 2.0T's trunk holds 16.7 cubic feet, the largest in the midsize sedan class. I've loaded coolers, camping gear, and 2 full sets of luggage in there. Most compact SUV owners are hauling the same amount of stuff. Buy it if you want performance and reliability in the same car. You occasionally need to haul things but aren't moving furniture every weekend. You want the option of a manual gearbox in a family-sized sedan. Skip it if you're buying a 1.5T and you do mostly short city trips in a cold climate. That's where the oil dilution issue shows up most. Also skip if you need AWD, the Accord is front-wheel drive only. The Accord 2.0T is the car I'd put my own money into if I needed something that does everything well. It's not the cheapest to maintain, but it's honest about what it is, a performance-oriented sedan that Honda built without charging luxury prices for it. Buy the 2.0T, ignore the 1.5T if you can, and enjoy the fact that it's faster than the SUV in the lane next to you. Now that was the rational pick. Number 1 is the emotional pick, the one that makes mechanics smile and SUV owners uncomfortable. Before I show you, drop your guess in the comments. Most people get this wrong. Number 1. Kia Stinger GT, 2019 to 2021. The Kia Stinger GT was designed by Albert Biermann, the former head of BMW's M division. The man who tuned the M3, the M5, and the original M4 took a job at Kia and built this car. It has a 3.3-liter twin-turbocharged V6 making 365 horsepower and 376 pound-feet of torque, rear-wheel drive, available Brembo brakes, and a multi-link rear suspension that costs more to engineer than most cars in this price range even bother with. 0 to 60, 4.7 seconds. That is faster than a BMW 5 Series base. Faster than an Audi Q5. Faster than any midsize SUV on the market under $60,000. I'm not finding an exception. I mentioned earlier that a dealership manager told me this car couldn't compete with a BMW. Here's the story. A customer came in, had a 2019 Stinger GT with 48,000 miles on it he wanted to sell to buy a used 4 Series Grand Coupe. I pulled the data. The Stinger was faster, had a bigger cargo area, cost $8,000 less, and had the same warranty coverage still active. He kept the Stinger. The BMW dealer called me to argue about my math. I told him the quarter-mile times don't lie. Now here's the cargo space point I promised. The Stinger is a liftback, not a traditional trunk sedan. Seats up, you get 23.3 cubic feet. Seats folded, 40.9 cubic feet. That 40.9 number is more rear cargo than a Toyota RAV4 has with its seats up. Let that sink in. You can find a 2019 Stinger GT with the V6 in the $16,000 to $20,000 range right now. A 2.0T base Stinger with the Turbo 4 starts around $12,000. Your mechanic puts the annual maintenance cost at $267 per year. For a 365 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, German-engineered performance car. Target 2019 or 2021. Avoid 2018, first model year, wiring harness recall, more electrical complaints. Avoid 2020, fuel gauge malfunction and brake issues. On any used Stinger, verify 2 specific recalls are cleared through NHTSA, the turbocharger oil feed pipe recall, fire risk on the V6, and the high-pressure fuel pump recall. Both are free dealer repairs. If not completed, make it a condition of the sale. Buy it if you want genuine performance car experience at sedan money. You carry cargo regularly and a liftback's flexibility matters. You want a car that genuinely turns heads without paying European luxury prices. Skip it if the V6 is a premium fuel engine, budget for 93 octane. Fuel economy on the V6 averages 20 miles per gallon combined. That's a real trade-off. Also skip the 2018 model year specifically. The Stinger GT is the most misunderstood car on the used market right now. It was built to compete with BMW, it beats BMW on performance metrics and value, and it costs $267 a year to maintain. By the 2019 or 2021, clear the recalls, change the oil every 5,000 miles, and drive something that makes every SUV at the stoplight irrelevant. So those are the 4 sedans, the Mazda 6, the Camry V6, the Accord 2.0T, and the Stinger GT. All under $20,000 used. All faster, cheaper to own, and more durable than the crossovers people are overpaying for right now. Combined, choosing any one of these over a comparable used SUV saves you somewhere between $1,200 and $2,000 every single year in fuel, insurance, and maintenance. Over 5 years, that's up to $10,000 back in your pocket, and you still have a better car. If you want to know which cars I'd never let a family member buy, the ones I see fail on the lift at 80,000 miles with $4,000 repair bills, that video is right here. Watch it before you go to any dealership. That's 20 years of turning wrenches, distilled into 12 minutes. Like and subscribe if this saved you from a bad decision, and I'll see you in the next one.